In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibaram.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluwo?
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 What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products.
To the public hearings of the TRRC. Imam, you have the floor if you can offer some prayers, please.
Thank you, Chair. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Rahmanirrahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin.
Amen.
فلله الحمد رب السماوات ورب الأرض رب العالمين وله الكبرياء في السماوات والأرض وهو عزيز الحكيم بحرمة اللهم فصل وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي الكريم سيد سند العظيم ذو القلب الرحيم سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Council, you may proceed if we're ready with this morning's witness.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, and members of the audience. We are ready to proceed with the next witness. Mr. Kambi, kindly get the witness, please.
I, Gaye Sowe.
I, Gaye Sowe.
Do swear that.
Do swear that.
I'll speak the truth.
I'll speak the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay.
Good morning, Mr. Sowe. Welcome to the TRRC.
Good morning, Lead Counsel. Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to appear before this commission to help us in our investigation. Mr. Chair, today we propose to look into the 1997 Constitution. First, to look into how the search for a new constitutional order has landed us with the 1997 Constitution. What are some of the issues that happened at the eve of the passage of that Constitution? The discrepancies between the draft that was proposed by the Constitutional Review Commission and the draft that was voted for during the referendum. We would also look into how that Constitution was amended, if I may, how it was so bastardized that it became fertile ground to germinate and nurture a dictatorship. Mr. Sow is going to help us understand some of these intricate issues. Thank you, Mr. Sow, for agreeing to testify.
Thank you.
We normally give this warning to witnesses. I am sure it would not apply to you because of the type of witness you are, but nonetheless, I would just mention it for the completeness of the record. It is an offense to lie under oath before this commission. It is also an offense to provide false or misleading testimony. And before we start with your testimony, Mr. Sow, I'd like to inform you that we do allow for interpretation in one local language. So you have the honor and privilege of choosing the language in which you wish your testimony to be interpreted into.
Thank you, Lead Counsel. Thank you, Honorable Chair and Commissioners. I have noted the warning, and I'll try not to lie. I don't know whether you have a Fana interpreter.
Well, Fana equates Wolof.
Okay. So, there's a difference.
We certainly do have Fana.
That's right. But I have heard Lead Counsel speak Wolof, and I was quite impressed. But that's fine. So we can do Wolof.
I wish I could be that impressive in Fula and Jola and Sarahule and Manjago and Serere.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Cham, this one is not just Wolof, it's Fana. So instead of Dimba, you say Dimb.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sow. What are your full names, sir?
Mwe nakanga tudu.
Gaye Sowe. They call me the guy with two surnames.
The guy with two surnames?
Yeah, my first name is a surname Gaye, and my second, as in my surname, is Sowe, Gaye Sowe.
Mangi to the Gaye Sowe.
And what is your date of birth?
4th of August, 1971.
Ñenti fan ci wéri August 1971.
Place of birth?
I was born in a small village a few kilometers from Kaur called Genji Wolof in the Lower Salem district.
Genji
Wolof. G-E-N-J-I.
Genji Wolof.
In the Lower Salem district, just about 3-4 kilometers away from Kaur.
Mangi judo ci benn dëkk bu ndaw ci boori Kaur ñaar ba ñetti kilomètre digganteem ak Kaur ñu xamé ko Genji Wolof.
And tell us about your schooling.
School.
I started with Genji Primary School, obviously, from 76, I think, 76, 77 to 1982. Then I did Kaur secondary technical school for 2 years. 82 to 84.
Allow for the interpretation.
Okay,
maa ngi dooree jàng ci Génji Olof suñ primary school ba gannaaw loolu nag ci ñaar ñetti at ba ma fa jeexalee ma dem Kawur ci technical secondary school bi.
I was there for 2 years, and I then went to Armitage High School.
Jàngee naa fa nag ba ñaari at gannaaw loolu ma jàll dem Armitage High School.
From 84 to 89.
ci atum 1984 ba 89.
Then I did my sixth form at the Gambia High School, 1989 to 91.
Ma def suma sixth form ci Gambia High School 1989 ba 1991.
Then I worked for a bit at the Supreme Court at the time, now called the High Court, before I proceeded to Nigeria, 92-93, to study for my LLB. So between 92-93 to 97, I was at the Bafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria, where I studied my LLB.
Def naa nag ci liggéey naa tuuti ci buntu liggéeykaay àttekaay bu mag bi balaa may dem nag Nigeria pour def nag suma maqaamam njàng ci di LLB ci réewi Nigeria.
Just to say, the university was previously called the University of Ife, but they changed the name, I think, in the 80s.
te njëlbeen nag university boobu ñu ngi ko daan xamee University of Ife.
I didn't go to school right away. I came back April 98. I was appointed a first-class magistrate. I was there for about a year, some months, before I proceeded to Nigeria to do my bar.
jàng moom nag commencé rek waaye dama ñëwaat fii ñu daldi ma def nag first-class magistrate balaa ma demaat Nigeria ci lu aju ci wàllu maqaamam LLB. Bar defi fa suma bar.
I did the bar, and after which I was called to the Nigerian bar in October, and then the Gambian bar December of 2000.
ñu ooma nag ci lawyer yi Nigeria ci weeri October ñëwaat nag Gambie tamit ñu ooma fii ci weeri December ci lawyer yi nekkee fii ci réew mi.
I remember we used to call ourselves the Millennium Lawyers.
dañu daan ooye nag Millennium Lawyers.
And which part did you belong? That of antiquity or that of the future?
That's of the future. I would say future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, then between January to April of 2003, I did a postgraduate diploma in international human rights law.
ci diggante January ak April ci
2003.
ci atum 2003 ci la def nag beneen njàng ci international degree.
Then international human rights law at the University of Nottingham in the UK.
Okay.
Diploma, yes. Then between 2003 2004, I did my master's, my LLM in international human rights law at the University of Essex in the UK.
ci gannaaw loolu tamit jàngee naa ci réewi Angleterre ci University of Essex ci di fa jàng nag lu aju ci wàllu maqaamam LLB.
I think after that I did a course at the California State University in the US on alternative dispute resolution.
ci gannaaw loolu nag jàngaat naa ci beneen njàng yaakaar naa lu aju nag ci wàlli ni ñuy fanqee fitna ak wàlli féewaloo.
I did another course on economic, social, and cultural rights. They call it advanced course in Abo Academy in Finland.
jàng naa tamit ci Finland li nga xam ne daal mu ngi aju ci wàlli koppar yi lay tamit.
Human rights.
Human rights, yes. Yeah. I also did a course in human rights litigation at the Central European University in Hungary, Budapest.
ci Hungary seen capital ba di Budapest foofu tamit nag jàng naa fa lu jëm ci wàlli loi boo xam ne ni dëppoo na ak ni nga xam ne daal noonu la ñuy saafara lépp loo xam ne féewaloo na lu aju ci wàlli xëtti yelleef.
A course in election observation at the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Institute in Accra.
ci tamit university boo xam ne mu nga nekkee ca Ghana Accra.
Then a specialization course on the rule of law in Berlin, I think around 2006.
ak beneen jàng ci atum 2006 ca jamani Berlin lu aju ci wàllu ni ñuy toppee nag mbiri topp dégg loi di international rule of law.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sowe.
jërëjëf Mr. Sowe.
It seems that much of your education, postgraduate education, is centered on human rights law.
mel na ne yow sa wàlle njàngale ci ëpp yëpp yaa ngi ko def lu aju ci yelleefi doomu aadama.
Yeah, international human rights law.
Wow.
Not just specialized here, it's also my area of practice.
waaw nekk na itamit ci bunta boo xam ne nii ci laa de yaxantu itamit.
And since you left the bench, you've been working on this area, international human rights law.
depuis ba nga bàyyee nag ci wàllu mbiri atte bi da nga continuer nag di def lépp loo xam ne moo aju ci wàllu yelleefi doomu aadama diggante réew a réew.
That's right. I was a magistrate. I rose through the ranks to become principal magistrate, at some point judicial secretary, I think for a little under 8 years before I left to join the Institute for Human Rights and Development in Africa. And like I said, I have been dealing with human rights, particularly international human rights law since then, for about 16 years now.
And what is your position in IHRDA?
I am now the executive director. Just to clarify, I joined after I left government in 2005, I think October.
Mr. Sow, interpret.
Okay, I'll note that. Thank you. I joined, like I said, I left October 2005, joined 1st of November, and over the years I was legal officer, senior legal officer.
Gannaaw boo xamee nag yenn naa ci fi mu nekk nii kilifa laa ci li nga xam ne ni mooy yeddee lu aju ci wàlli luwaa yi dëppoo mbiri ak yelleef yi doomu aadama.
Then director of programs before I was appointed executive director, I think around 2015.
ma jiite nag bunta bi nga xam ne moo aju ci wàlli tëddalin yi di director of programs balaañ maay tànn nag def ma ki jiite nag buntu liggéeykaay boobu.
I understand that you also teach at the university or in some of the law-related institutions in this country.
yéeg naa ne tamit ne yaa ngi jàngale ci university bi fii ci biir réew mi ak yeneen i bunti njàngalekaay yoo xam ne sax ñu fa jàngale wàlli luwaa.
Yes, before the university I taught at the GTTI. I had a level diploma in law. I taught for, I think, close to a decade.
University bi jàngale woon naa ci GTTI tamit.
And I was also part of the committee that set up the law faculty.
bokk naa ci tamit ci committee bi nga xam ne nii ñoo sosoon banqaas bi nga xam ne nii fa la ñoo jàngelu aju ci wàlli loi ci réew mi.
And I have been lecturing at the law faculty since it was set up in January 2008.
Depuis atum 2008 nag biñ sosee banqaas boobu di jàngale aju ci wàlli loi maa ngi fa dee jàngale.
At first, I used to teach Gambia legal system and constitutional law.
ca njëlbeen nag maa ngi doon jàngale lu aju ci wàlli doxalini loi fii ci réew mi ak lu aju ci wàlli buggi loi yi réew yi Gambia.
Constitutional law I taught for 4 years before I switched to criminal law. I have been the criminal law lecturer at the university. Even last week I had lectures. For close to a decade, I think.
Lu aju nag ci doxalini loi yi réew mi bu ma ko doon jàngale ba ñeenti at balaa maay toxu nag di jàngale lu aju ci wàlli loi yi dëppoog mbiri tefaar tey tamit sax bés bu ay ba la ñu jox gannaaw sax maa ngi doon jàngale.
I was also found a lecturer at the Gambia Law School.
Bokkoon naa ci tamit ci jàngalekat yi njëkk ci law school bi.
Where I taught criminal procedure until 2015. I had to leave because I just couldn't do it along with my 9-to-5 job in the university.
Ma bàyyi fa nag gannaaw boo xamee ne nii mënuma koo boole ak liggéey bi nga xam ne moom laa am ci université bi.
With all the experience you have teaching constitutional law and working on international human rights law,
ak ci wàlli xam-xam yi nga am ni yëpp ci wàlli luwaay yi aju ci téere bi nga xam ne moom la luwaay réew mi di doxee ak li nga xam ne moo aju ci wàlli yelleefi doomu aadama.
and also the fact that you had taught Gambia legal systems.
ak itamit ne jàngale nga ci wàlli luwaay yi nga xam ne moom la réewi Gambia di doxee.
You would say that you are really very familiar with the constitutional law of this country.
Bon na dinañ mun a wax ne yow nag miin nga bu baax a baax li nga